All right, so let's get started. All right, welcome everyone to another session on the Storage Provider Working Group. This is our quarterly update, this time for the last quarter. We are December 1st today. We've got a lot of updates to share with you. Vanessa, let's walk us through the agenda for today. Let's go to the next slide. And we will hear from multiple people from the community. But first and foremost, some updates. What has happened in the last quarter? Most of you have been very engaged. And so you'll see a ton of cool updates that we want to share with you. Second, we'll give some updates on the working group update. So there's some new regions that have come online, and we want to introduce some new people as well. And we'll talk a little bit more about the Lotus update. So Jennifer on the Lotus side will, from the community engineering team, will actually give us some updates. And Vanessa will talk about the bounty board that we started last quarter and share with you some of the new bounties. And then we'll talk about some new accelerator programs. Very excited to see a new accelerator program here in the US, and then also the second cohort of Venus, and then call to action, see what we can do next. So let's start with a quick summary. Vanessa, you can go to the next slide. So last quarter, what we said is we're going to grow and expand our network in new regions and countries. We'll enable the ecosystem through incubation centers and boot camps. We'll onboard new enterprise customers onto the platform, and we'll grow our staff to support the storage provider ecosystem. Of course, all of this is a continuation of what we set out forward at the beginning of this year. But some great results in last quarter. So we've now expanded presence in Asia. So we have now a new working group in Japan, also Korea, Vietnam. The community in Vietnam stood up and reached out and has been very actively engaged. And now also Europe, we have an official working group, and we'll share the leaders and the details there. We launched the second cohort of the Venus incubation program, which is fantastic. We'll share some details there, and kicked off a new storage provider accelerator program in North America, which Stu will walk us through today. And then we onboarded more than 15 million NFTs and more than 13.8 exabytes of capacity. We launched Project Gravity and improved multiple bounties, which Vanessa will walk us through. And we hired 3 more storage provider staff at the foundation at PL to support the community members. So lots of good stuff. Let's dive in. Let's go to the next slide, Vanessa. All right, so Filecoin network status, everyone has seen this. We continue to grow. This is a new dashboard that was released by Starboard. Recommend to have a look at it. It's dashboard.starboard.ventures. But as you can see, continued growth in exabytes. We continue to grow on a daily basis. Again, the network is very strong, also very diverse. We see a ton more people starting up new Filecoin storage provider instances across the world. And we can talk about that a little bit further, but let's go to the next step. There you go. If you look at the NFTs that we're storing on our platform, it is humongous. Actually, we're here today in Miami at Decentral at NFT storage, an NFT conference. And today we have more than 15 million NFTs stored on NFT.storage, which is our interface, which is our preferred solution for NFTs. Now, more than 10,000 users are currently using this interface, which is huge. As you can see, the growth will continue, and we'll give you continuous updates as we move forward. But this is fantastic news, and this use case seems to be growing tremendously. So very excited about this use case. Let's move to the next slide. Let's look at some of the other solutions that have ingested a lot of data into the network. Estuary.Tech is one of them. Estuary.Tech has now uploaded more than 574 terabytes and is growing, as you can see, exponential, which is fantastic. So we're seeing a lot more adoption from the storage providers as well. But if you are a storage provider that is not connected, if you don't have your systems connected to Estuary.Tech yet, please connect today. There's a link in here on how you can connect. So connect to provide your service in the left corner, and you actually can add your Filecoin instances to the Estuary.Tech website, and you will get actual deals. So this is a fantastic way to get started and get new deals into your Filecoin instance. So please have a look at it. This is growing exponentially, and we're getting a lot more storage providers also looking at how to install Estuary.Tech, as this is an open source stack. We would recommend you to have a look at it. Let's go to the next slide. So fantastic continuation of fantastic growth of data itself, but also last quarter we said we were going to announce Project Gravity. We released that. Project Gravity is a sales referral program. Remember, this is where we hand out 100 Filecoin for every customer of 100 terabytes and above, and 500 Filecoin for every customer with 1 petabyte of capacity and above. So up to date, we have a ton of applications. We are working through that with our solutions architects. And as you can see, a lot of them are coming from China. We need more applications. We have 6 currently in a pre-qualification for POC. And we see a wide range of photo, video, audio archivals, sort of research institutes. We see NFT storage. So pretty much across the board, any large data set or unique use cases like NFT that require decentralized approach and require immutability capabilities. So keep applying. Let's continue to demonstrate the utility of the network. This is a perfect way to do that. We're here to support you. So please ask everyone to go to filecoin.io/gravity. If you have any questions, go to our Slack channel, fil-filecoin-gravity. We're there to support you with any questions or suggestions. More than happy to look at a second round of Project Gravity. So let us know your feedback. Let's go to the next slide. All right, so I'm going to hand it over to Clara. So we have been making a lot of progress in the working groups as well. Remember, this is a quarterly update for the storage provider working groups, and our goal is to expand the working groups across more regions. So I'll let Clara provide you with a quick update on where we are there.
Yeah, so as many of you guys are aware, we set up the working group around July of this year, really to provide different kinds of support for our storage provider community all around the world. And you can see on these links the great people that are involved. And from the Filecoin Foundation side, we invest in the community through grants. We optimize communication processes so that everyone in the storage provider community, like this call, can get updates. And then from the Protocol Lab side, Stefan and his team, they have provided ad hoc support, bringing on new ideas and projects. They've funded new boot camps and accelerators. And then they've also taken a lot of the learnings that all of you guys contribute every week in the working group. And for those from the broader community, being able to share your ideas. But we wanted to emphasize that, again, this working group is 100% community built. So we are here for you guys, and we want to hear from you what you need from us and Protocol Labs. Next slide. So I will let Stefan jump in more details here, as well as Karen, if she's on this call. But one of the most exciting things is we are expanding, as Stefan had said earlier. So Stefan, do you want to jump in on these expansions?
Absolutely. So in Japan, we have a new working group now set up that's planned to kick off its first meeting on the 8th of December. So it's next week. With a total, so there's founding members include IPFS Infinity, Salicyline, Non-Entropy, Minor X, and fellow Yushi. So this is great news. This means like right now we'll have a standing call, and if you are based out of Japan, please reach out to the channel Fil-Japan. Same thing in Korea. We have already created a channel called Fil-Korea. We're still setting up the working group there. Now in Europe, we have also a working group that's starting next week that's led by Julien Noel. And there we'll have a first call starting December 6th. So as you can see, next week, we're starting off 2 new working groups, and we'll have the Korean working group up shortly. So fantastic to see that the community is standing up and is connecting with us and replicating the model that we successfully implemented in Asia and in the US right now. And if you are in a region that hasn't been represented yet, and you would like to stand up, please reach out to us. Just post something in the Phil channel, and Phil Lobby will reach out and connect with you separately. That's it. Perfect. Governance, we are up. Caitlin, can you walk us through some updates on the governance side, please?
Yeah, I'd love to. Thanks, Stefan. It's nice to see all of you. Again, my name is Caitlin. I'm at the Filecoin Foundation. And if we have not worked one-on-one or met in another storage provider working group meeting yet, I help oversee the FIPS process and broader protocol governance. Just in November, now that it's December, last month, the foundation actually hosted a rather large internal design summit for our governance processes. So there are a lot of new things coming down the pipeline with the goal of making understanding the FIPS process, both engaging with it and understanding what FIPS are up for community consideration, easier over time. So there are links throughout this entire slide. So if you have access to these afterwards, you're welcome to sort of peruse and click around. We have a new FIPS discussion forum that's being hosted on GitHub with new proposed process changes that will break out FIPS stages. So it's easier to see where ideas are in the FIP process. We're improving our audit procedures as well to make it more transparent for community members, including storage providers. So you can see exactly what type of crypto economic, security, and technical considerations are being made before you can consider a FIP as acceptable and compliant with overall network goals. And we also have a variety of other improvements that are coming in Q1 2022. So this includes a FIPS resource library, a public strategic protocol roadmap that will be built and managed by the community. So more details to come. And we are also considering implementing a FIP bounty board for people who'd like to focus on larger technical enhancements in a more focused way and receive Filecoin for doing so as well. We also brought on a community manager, Shannon. She's on the call with us today, and she'll be helping to improve some of our social media outreach, different community forums, and making sure that questions are being answered as quickly as possible. And she's also working with Jennifer on a couple of other community programs, relaunching the ambassadors program, et cetera. If you have any questions about this, I know it's a lot. I'm happy to answer questions at the end of this call, of course. And as always, encourage you to publicly ask any of your questions in the FIPS channel on Filecoin Slack as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to the next topic. That's great. Great. We're going to get an update today from the engineering team. I'll invite them to present on this new Filecoin indexing technology.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, so one of the topics that is sort of getting worked on, and this is mostly related to sort of building out and continuing to expand the markets portion of Filecoin. So building out and getting there to be increased retrieval volume is making sure that we know which storage providers have which content. And so one of the things that we'll see rolling out, it's going to have a tag in Lotus fairly soon, and there's already a standalone CLI that's an alternative variant, is something called an index provider. And that can run either in process or as a separate process. It'll sort of likely co-live with markets. We're still figuring out sort of the recommended best practices around different configurations there. But what this additional code base is going to do from a storage provider perspective, which is that sort of upper dark blue rectangle, is so the two red squares on the far left are what already happens today, right? You've got storage deals getting made and retrieval deals getting made. The additional thing that's getting added is the rest of this. There will be an advertisement process, which is these lightweight pub sub topics. Basically, providers, as they get additional deals, will have a small advertisement that they send out over the existing network connectivity mesh, saying that they have additional content that's available. This signals to indexer nodes, so that light gray box in the center bottom, that will pull the nodes to get the list of CIDs that they have available for retrieval. And so we expect to see a small number of larger network index databases basically existing. And so retrieval clients will then be able to ask that and learn which providers have which content. We're currently sort of testing this against sort of individual provider data sets to confirm expectations around scale. And hopefully over the next few months, we start making a push to make this a more common, and hopefully most storage providers eventually will be offering this index, because this will be important for clients to actually figure out automatically who to go and get content from. There's a video here. The repos to look at in Filecoin project. There's a repo called Store the Index. That's the code for that indexer pool object. And then there's a indexer-provider, and that is the standalone binary and the library variant written in Golang that we expect to be pushing to integrate into data providers. Cool.
Well, I think you also have a question about the index in the chat. Is the indexer, will it be aware when content is not available anymore, like Flash?
Yeah, so the structure for these indexes, another advertisement would come to indicate from the data provider that the content that it is serving has changed, and that update can be and a message to the effect of I am no longer serving this subset of content. The basic thought is the advertisement to the indexer should be in sync with what content is available from that provider to be retrieved. So there is some thought going into like what level of controls do we need to give providers for not advertising content in the first place, or being able to sort of say this is content that I don't want sort of public retrieval deals around. That probably happens at a markets layer. So it's not going to be a set of controls that we want to re-implement specifically at indexer, because having the index out of sync with what reality in terms of what's available for retrieval is going to start to get quite weird in terms of client experiences. But yes, that is one of the use cases that we're aware of.
Cool. All right. Thank you, Will. Very much appreciated. Let's move to the next topic. And we've got Jennifer. You want to walk us through some Lotus updates?
Jennifer, most I'm like, can you hear me back?
You're breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. Just to refresh everyone, Lotus, basically what we do here to the Filecoin protocol, creating as well and Lotus so that we can support Filecoin network protocol. We can.
Hey, Jennifer, sorry, you're still cutting out. Maybe we can just talk to it. So we relocated the Lotus documentation to lotus.filecoin.io to better serve the developer community and really focus on Lotus. As we have multiple implementations, we kind of made sure that the documentation for Lotus itself is sort of separated. We also have more documentation on some of the optimizations. No worries, Jennifer. So we have new graph strings and 200 times faster retrieval, which you should look into. I recommend that you connect to the website, have a look. Thank you, Clara. Clara just posted it in the chat session. Have a look at it. There's some amazing improvements there that have been made, and you'll see more updates down the road in our monthly meetings. And also, yes, the website's also translated into Mandarin, so we'll have the option to look at English and Mandarin. Cool. So I invite everyone to look at those new documentations. All right, let's go to the next slide. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Great. We have Venus. I'm not sure if everyone is familiar with this, but last quarter we started a really cool incubation center with Venus. So Venus is one of the implementations, and what's great about this is that this is our first incubation center, and currently we're running. Is Tim on the call? Oh, great, Tim. The floor is yours. Enlighten us on the incubation center and tell us more about the second cohort that you're running, which is fantastic. If you can unmute yourself, that'd be great. Is Tim on the call?
And Tim, making sure you're the right Tim. There is someone named Tim on the call. If not, Stefan, feel free to
All right.
I think I'm the Tim on the call, and I'm not the right one.
Oh, okay. Not the
Okay,
wrong.
great.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, great. So just as you remember, why did we create an incubation center? Well, first we want to support the storage provider community, specifically those that are entering this new ecosystem, and it can be to help those storage providers. We provided multiple cohorts. This is the second cohort where the Venus team is actually supporting 10 new storage providers per cohort, and they're giving them technical supports and guidelines and boot camps essentially to really start operating a Filecoin instance. And there's some benefits with Venus as well, where you can create a Venus cluster to improve your seal efficiency. There's some new solutions that are coming out next quarter that will allow Venus to pool multiple providers together. So ton of benefits, and we're running right now. Right now, they're running in phase 2, which means that they're currently onboarding the second cohorts, and they also have a master fellowship. And a master fellowship is essentially for those who want to become instructors of such a program. And there's a price for that. If you successfully complete that fellowship program, you actually get 1,000 Filecoin as well. So we're incentivizing as much as we can boot camps and accelerator programs in the field to accelerate the onboarding of new storage providers. So far, as you can see, Venus itself is powering more than 250 petabytes across more than 70 nodes. So very successful program. Cool. Talking about accelerator programs, we have, Vanessa, can you go to the next slide, please? We have a second program, and I'll let Stu from the ESPA team walk us through this. So Stu, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Thanks, Stefan. As Stefan mentioned, I'm the program director for ESPA, and we're really excited to get this accelerator off the ground now. The focus of the accelerator is to onboard enterprise data from clients by developing new enterprise-capable storage providers. And you can see, I'll put it in the chat here, we have a website where we accept applications and discuss a bit more about the program. When you go to the website, you'll see there's a countdown timer in there, and that's the deadline for our first cohort decision to be made. Who's going to be in that first cohort? We'll have cohorts every 3 months. So you can go ahead and apply, and if you're not selected for the first cohort, there are additional cohorts where you might be eligible for. The first cohort kicks off on site in Las Vegas for a week-long boot camp at our it's a terrific and amazing data center at Switch in Las Vegas. So we'll be meeting at the data center. They have a conference area that we'll be meeting, and we'll dig into the particulars of how the program works and an overview of the whole system. That's followed by 12 weeks of what we call an internship, where we dig deeply into the 12 modules, the material for becoming an enterprise capable provider. After that, we have 6 to 9 weeks where we're calling that the residency program, where we're helping these partners develop their business plans and connect in with their clients to bring in that storage and become part of the Filecoin network. So take a look at our website, apply, and thanks for listening.
All right, fantastic. And as Stu said, apply as a great opportunity where infrastructure is provided to you as a newcomer in the space or an existing service provider that wants to learn more about how to run Filecoin. And not just how to run it, but as Stu said, also uploading real customer data. So very fantastic program. Let's move to the next slide, Vanessa. Let's pass it on to the bounty board. That is you. Go ahead. Tell us more.
Okay, hi, thank you, Stefan. Hello, everyone. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Vanessa, and I'm going to update you on the storage provider bounty board progress so far. First off, we want to thank you, our amazing storage providers, for supporting the bounty board project. And so just a quick recap, bounty board is a project that we set up 3 months ago in last quarter as an open tool to improve our ecosystem that allows the community to contribute in solving issues related to storage provider, which later will be selected by Filecoin alongside with the amount of reward to be given out for anyone who is interested to solve that particular issues. Our current bounty board now have 5 open issues that is still up for the grabs, and we have another 5 issues that is on progress. There are 3 bounties that we highlighted, which is the deal processing on calibration network nodes, data distribution nodes, and Estuary nodes. Because as we have more and more data cap allocated, the data are currently sealed in each individual region due to the limitations posed by the cost of the bandwidth. So it makes these bounties very interesting because we use the bounty board to build infrastructures and creating surfaces which can be managed by DAO in the future. And yeah, that is all the details that we have now, and all of details related to the bounty board can be seen in Filecoin community GitHub repositories. Yeah, and then we still have 5 issues for the grab. So if anyone interested, please check our bounty board, and you can also submit issues related to the storage provider. And the next item that we are also working on is publishing a series of blog posts where we can highlight our amazing storage providers upon their amazing story and background. So thank you very much for Picnic to be one of our storage providers who wants to share their story. So this blog post will enable us to increase the exposure of our storage providers' experience on a personal level to further deepen the connections between Filecoin and the community. As of today, we have 1 blog post up and running, and we have 2 more to go. And we are constantly inviting other storage providers to share their experience with our community by this blog post. So for anyone who's interested to reading this blog, can go to Filecoin website. And thank you very much for the storage providers that are willing to share their story with Filecoin. Thank you.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, more stories we can bring forward, the better. So if you're interested, please reach out to us. We're here to help accelerate your voice and evangelize the Filecoin vision. Oh, great. So go ahead, Vanessa, maybe you can, or Clara, maybe you can walk us through some of the new people that joined the team.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we promised last quarter, we wanted to really make sure we have the right people to support our ecosystem. And we are so thrilled to bring on the foundation side, Shrek and Sharif, who are both solutions architects. And then from Protocol Labs and the community, we have Karen and Julian, who are coordinating the working groups for Asia and Europe. And so please definitely look out for the 2 of them to be engaging with all of you guys who have not had a specific working group for your region. And if there's countries that you think would be great to further engage and grow, definitely let myself or Stefan know. Great, next slide. And so what's next for this community? Well, we definitely want to see the topics you want to have discussed. And so please engage with us on Slack in the existing channels. Please open new bounties in the bounty dashboard that we've previously shared. Please show the utility of the network, submit use cases through our Filecoin Gravity program that Stefan mentioned earlier. And please engage and help us build this community because it starts with each and every one of you. And of course, thank you for everything that you do. And so we also want to hear from you guys, challenges, things that you guys need as tooling. We have so many resources today that give you guys opportunity to vocalize what you need. And then again, you can submit anywhere from bounties to engage with us on broader grants if there's programs that you think would be really helpful for the greater community. Next slide. And then this is just a overview, just a reminder. I know we have so many Slack channels, but this is how you can communicate with all the incredible members of the working group. There are many that are here on the call today. We have meetings every week in North America and Europe, and then we have Asia meetups that happen bi-weekly in Korea and every Wednesday, and then Japan and Korea. We are announcing those shortly. And then please also look at one of the many Slack channels here if you would like to engage with a particular region. Please do submit questions you would see addressed in our working group. And next slide. And here's just a quick reminder of who's in each of the working groups. And so if we have missed anyone's names here, we apologize. We will make sure you guys are all added, but you can contact everyone here on the different working groups from Asia to North America. Asia is mostly China right now until we expand with Korea and Japan. And then the European working group you can see over here. So I think we can open up the floor to questions. We have everyone who presented earlier on the line, and so feel free to unmute yourself, turn on your camera, and engage.
Thank you, Clara. Any questions, suggestions, please post them in the chats. Do I see one? No.
Andrew, do you have a question?
Or a live question?
And I know that there are a few people here who are Mandarin speakers, so if you want to talk in Mandarin, we can also translate for the broader call as well.
Do you guys have any idea on what the resource cost is going to be for the indexer process?
That will be for Will. I don't know.
I think Will may have dropped. We can get back to you on that. I think that's a great question. I know that we are working through.
Thank you.
Andrew, did you have any questions or? No. All right. I think that's it, Clara.
I think.
Well, first of all, thanks.
Um,
Oh, was there a question?
I think Tim raised his hands.
Oh, did he? Okay, Tim, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. Yeah, I didn't have a question. I was just going to say that this is my first call. We just started as a storage provider in the last month. Super helpful. I appreciate everything, and I just wanted to thank everyone for the presentation and for your support.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it and welcome.
Yeah, welcome. And just wanted to share that, like, again, you're welcome to reach anyone in Slack. The community is very active if you have questions or need additional support in your storage provider journey. So thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right, we did hear from Tim after all. It wasn't there. It was a different Tim, but great. Thank you for setting up. Perfect. Okay, well, that was it for this quarter. As always, reach out to us over Slack. We're here to help. And we'll see each other next quarter for the quarterly updates. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.